Alright, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Gege Akutami has announced that Jujutsu Kaisen's manga is ending in 5 chapters on September 30th, 2024. Now, this isn't too surprising of a statement, considering Gege Akutami announced late last year, near the end of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, that the series would be ending in 2024. I made a video about that. I'm sure we all remember that video. And then, again, most recently announced that Jujutsu Kaisen's manga is in its final arc, which he revealed the title to be Shibuya Showdown, which is pretty cool alliteration and a pretty cool title for a final arc in my opinion. For many people on the channel who are only anime-only viewers, you may not realize it, but this is kind of bad. I am officially partnered with GamerSubs, so using code CTATIS gets you 10% off all orders site-wide, including the Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Energy flavor, along with a lot of their waifu cups, so definitely go out and pick some up as it supports me directly here at the CTATIC. Thank you for your support, and thank you to GamerSubs for being an amazing partner. The JJK subreddit, which is, in my opinion, a very good way to sort of taste test how people are feeling about Jujutsu Kaisen general perspective, so it's mostly balanced. There's definitely a lot of people that don't like it, there's a lot of people that really love it, and then mostly there's more people in the center. And this is Gege Akutami's statement on the ending. This is what he had to say. He has this statement here about how he was asked about Jujutsu Kaisen's ending, and this is what he had to say about it years ago. I've already decided on the final chapter's content as well as several things that will happen along the way. However, I still don't know how the dots will connect. I hope everything will turn out okay, but will I be able to finish it? Now, this is kind of a pretty popular quote from Akutami, especially in the JJK fandom. Most people will know about this quote because at the time, sort of like a minor red flag for some people. This is what he recently had to say after the news dropping. Gege's message: the story will end in 5 more chapters. I am only able to end the story in the way I wanted, thanks to the support and cooperation of all of my readers. Thank you. I am working hard to create a final chapter that will probably satisfy as many people as possible who have supported Jujutsu Kaisen. So everyone, please bear with me. And he gives this little doodle, I think, of himself. I think that's like his little caricature that kind of represents him. This is actually, in my opinion, a very good way to distill a lot of the fears that are going around, which we'll get into in just a second. But I think he's telling the truth here, because if there's one thing that has been consistent with Akutami, is the dude is brutally honest, even about his own work. A lot of the things he said recently about Jujutsu Kaisen are mostly criticisms about himself. He's being very self-critical. If you're like one of the people who are like, Gege Akutami, he doesn't care, he doesn't even, like, he's so out of touch with his own readers, clearly. No, he definitely feels like he very much is in touch. He probably reads a lot of the really toxic stuff he has to deal with. I'm sure he reads a lot of that, especially for fans all over the world. And it seems like a lot of that has rubbed off on him because he's been very critical of his own work. He even said multiple times that he wishes that for future arcs that haven't been covered yet, that he wanted to do more of them, and he messed up on them, and he thought that they weren't good the way he did them. I'm pretty sure, definitely the ending's gonna be rushed. Most like extremely rushed. However, it'll probably satisfy, as he says, as many fans as he possibly can. Now, whether that means it's good or not, who knows? But at least I think he's being honest here when he says that. He's being sincere. And this is, let's just go into the subreddit of the big announcement. This is from r/Jujutsu Kaisen. You know, JJK, this is people's response, and I'm not gonna go down the comments because a lot of them are spoilers. So I found some individual ones, and I want to talk about them. A lot of people feel like this is very sudden, like this comment here from Testing that says, oh boy, that sure is sudden. And yeah, it came out of nowhere. I woke up this morning with this news and I was like, what? Because I was actually getting ready to cover the final Shibuya Showdown arc on the channel. Like, that was my plan, which I'm still going to do that. I'm definitely going to cover the last 5 chapters here on the main channel, so subscribe. It is sudden. I was super surprised. And actually, a lot of the people that I woke up this morning that sent me this on Discord or what have you, they were all like, what's going on here? Why is it already ending? This is so sudden, which seems to be a huge theme. Somnus Rain in the thread said, what the fuck? I've been reading JJK since 29 Weekly. This is so sudden. There's a bunch of stuff after this that are spoilers, so I cut all that out. And then this one, zoom in here a little bit. I really hope Gege wraps the manga in a satisfactory manner. I doubt it though, since there's only 5 chapters, and I feel like that's is too little to wrap up everything nicely. Let me tell you, it is. It is like trying, it's almost, I don't want to say it's like the Promised Neverland Season 2. It's encroaching, as they say, on that territory of Promised Neverland Season 2. But just in terms of wrapping things up and the pace. What a sad state of affairs when you have your fans comparing it to Bleach's manga ending, which has been, I don't know, critically shamed by many people. It's one of those, Bleach's ending is one of those endings where it's like, I love Bleach, and I really don't give a hoot about the ending of Bleach. But that was a bad ending. Like, everyone can sort of agree on that. And Vigor says, Gege is copying Bleach so much, he even rushed the manga like Tite did back then. Puts an edit, says, I'm only joking, health comes first. And then we got Kuzu who replies, says, manga is a horribly taxing thing. I am not shocked these ends are always rushed. At some point, you just want to get it over with. And that's another thing I think we have to consider. It is very easy for us, who don't know anything about making manga, or anime, or stories, or art, or anything, to sit back in our armchairs and just sort of go, well, you should have done it this way. Why didn't you do it this way? Well, there's a lot more things that go into it. They have editors that have to approve things, and we have to consider that, Gege Akutami has teams of people working with them to make it just a bearable job to do. Seriously, go and search up what mangaka have to do in a week. It's very taxing, and people talk about mangaka having really messed up hands. They talk about their health being really horrible because all they do is sit down every day and draw. That is their one purpose in life, especially when you're posting something in Shonen Jump or Manga Plus. These apps, these magazines that published in Japan and syndicated, it's a weekly thing, you guys. A lot of people may not realize that, but that's really hard to pull off. As a content creator myself, I'm doing a lot of videos right now. I don't think you've noticed this, considering I just started a new One Piece channel like literally last week. I have a second channel where I talk about Chainsaw Man every time a new chapter comes out. I have an anime podcast where I cover a bunch of seasonal anime that we do every Monday. I have 4 separate channels. I do maybe like 8 videos a week. 8 videos a week, and that sounds easy, but that is one of the hardest things that I've done in my entire life. It's one of those things where you got to do it. You got to put it out. You got to keep it together. And as my voice goes out, the auditor says definitely giving Bleach vibes. That's another kind of Confident Peanut says this series peaked at Shibuya, then after that, I don't know. I agree. As a person who has read past Shibuya, I think Jujutsu Kaisen overall is probably like a 7 out of 10 at its best. I think the fights are a 10 out of 10. I think the story itself, though, I think it kind of peaked with Shibuya, and after that, it's been on a slow decline. Now, admittedly, people will go, oh, this is like one of the worst manga, one of the worst series ever created. I'm gonna go to bat for JJK, and I'm gonna go to bat for Gege Akutami. I think people are blowing the quality of JJK out of proportion. They are definitely underestimating, I think, Gege's skill to write and produce stuff, especially fights. I don't think he's the greatest ever. He's no Tatsuki Fujimoto, but he sure as heck is good. I think he has earned his spot, and I think he definitely has earned the popularity he's gotten with JJK. I don't want to talk ill of this guy as if he's like one of the most creatively bankrupt people ever. It seems like he just made a lot of mistakes and he didn't know how to go forward with the series pretty much at all, because season 1 was basically a red herring. It literally has no impact on anything after season 1. Season 2 is pretty much where the series should have began, in my opinion, and it has some flaws in it, but it's probably the best thing Akutami has done in JJK, besides Nobara's death. That's pretty horrible. The fact he had to announce her death at a press conference is pretty horrible, and then he continues to go on and do it after the Shibuya incident arc, obviously, and we all pretty much know by this point how that played out if you are a manga fan. And then we finally have oversized jacket scurf. I don't know how to say that. That's a lot to wrap up in 5 chapters, and heck yeah, it is. I expected there to be at least 30 chapters left of the Shibuya Showdown. That may have just been me because I'm not totally caught up with JJK yet, but I did not expect it to end at the end of September next month. That's insanity. It feels definitely like Gege Akutami to some degree is experiencing, I don't know, maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's the fact that he's been doing it for so long and his body needs a break and he needs to focus on his health. But I'm kind of worried because it's ending so suddenly. It's coming after pretty much critically panned arcs. I don't know what happened. There's so much stuff that's left up in the air, and for all the good that this series does, it's not enough to surmount the bad vibes that some of these decisions Akutami has made. So I don't know what is going to happen in these final 5 chapters. I can tell you right now, it is not enough to wrap up the story. And most people will agree with that sentiment. This is like taking, we'll say like the last 20 chapters of AOT, trying to wrap it up in 5. It's not, I don't know how he can do this. He's gonna have to literally ignore stuff and just leave it up in the air, just untouched. Like, he's dropped a lot of plot stuff recently that he hasn't even brought back up. So are these chapters gonna be like double length? Are they gonna be like 40 to 50 pages? Heck, are they gonna be 100 pages? That's the only way that I can see JJK not having a rush ending at this point. And let me say right now, because I know there's gonna be a ton of people giving this video dislike, being very toxic in the comments towards me, saying that, you know, all these different things, that JJK is perfect and I'm horrible. But listen, I'm a huge JJK fan. Even after all of this stuff has went down, even after everyone has heavily criticized it, and things I agree with, by the way, I still love JJK. I think JJK is great. I'm a ride or die with JJK. I will even read a sequel if Akutami made it, because that's just what I am. That being said, I am not at all happy with the quality of this series. I think it has gone downhill. One, it's worrying because I worry about Gege so much. I hope he's okay. And two, you know, he's such a talented guy. Something went wrong with JJK. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was administrative. I don't know if it was editors. I don't know if it was COVID. I don't know what happened. We did not clearly get the JJK that I think fans wanted. Maybe even Gege wanted, because he himself is a very heavy critic of his own stuff in JJK. Stuff that he's done not even a year ago. He's heavily criticized as being the wrong decision. So I don't know what's going on. I hope everyone over there on, you know, Team JJK, I hope they're doing good. I want to say that, you know, thank you, Gege Akutami, for putting all the work into this series that you have. It's shown that deserve your spot here. I think that's very clear. And I can't wait to see what you do with the future of JJK, whether that is continuing it with a sequel or announcing a part 2, you know, whatever series you decide to do next, because I think he's a very talented guy. So I appreciate all of his effort and his hard work for bringing us this amazing series that helped us through some of our worst times. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Gege Akutami, and your team and the people at Shonen Jump who believed in you, because I don't want this video to come off as super negative. I don't want people to think that I hate this guy. I'm not one of those JJK fans. I love JJK, and I just want everyone to know that at the end of this video. With that being said, you can go and check out my other JJK videos. I recently just did a video on what would happen if Nobara didn't die, which didn't get like literally any views, so definitely go check that out. I've also done another what if video where what would happen if Riko Amanai actually survived, and wow, so much stuff would be different if that happened. Drop a like on the video, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell, because I cover all sorts of stuff like JJK, Demon Slayer, One Piece, Chainsaw Man, whatever you want, I cover it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.